Okay, I'm looking at job number 21145. It's the Redmond Ridge ROA-Cascara Park ramps. All right, so what you're looking at is Cascara Park here, and we're doing an aerial view of this because there's snow covering everything right now. But I went out there, kind of looked at what was out there and was able to see what we need to do. So basically, let's start off with staging. There's an area that we can pull up here and use for staging. We can pull off to the side here. We can pull off right here. We can use this road right here for staging our equipment. We can also park out here on the street if we want to. There's no issues, no street permit needed for this job. So at this park, they've got curbing, 18-inch curbing that surrounds this park in a rectangle shape, and then down here you got this smaller playground that has curbing around it. Well, you'll see these little red marks. These little red marks are supposed to be new concrete paths that come from the asphalt through the curbing and into the playground. ADA access, ADA access, ADA access. This drawing does not show the path that actually comes in here, but it looks something like this. So over to the left, you've got that funky E-shaped, like S-curve type deal. That's concrete sidewalk. That concrete sidewalk right there to the left is actually right in this area right here. So there's existing concrete right here right now, and they want to make a ramp that goes from the concrete down into the playground. Well, there's 18-inch curb that goes around the perimeter, and there's a like a swing set that's right here, and there's another swing set right here. So what they want to do is they want to extend a little pad over here. It'd be a 4x4 concrete pad that's 4-inch depth that we need to tie into the existing concrete pad out there. So that way we can shift this ramp over a little bit, because the ramp that goes into the playground will kind of interfere with this swing set that's here. So we're going to make that little pad there in order to shift this ramp over. So here's how this looks on the north ramp. And I've got the instructions here. So on the north ramp, we're going to extend the sidewalk with a 4-inch depth concrete pad that's 4x4. I just showed you that. So we'll have to potentially remove 2 inches of dirt in that area, 4x4. Then what we're going to do is we're going to cut out a 6-foot wide chunk out of the curbing that goes around the playground. That's 18-inch depth. So we need to cut out that 6-foot wide piece of curbing. And now we're creating a pathway going through the curbing and into the playground. Remove 16 inches of EWF. It's also called engineered wood fibers or wood chips. These are the wood chips that are inside the playground. Okay. Then we need placement of 12-inch crushed rock at 5/8, the 5/8 crushed rock, and that's for a 6x6 area. Then you've got placement of a 4-inch depth concrete for the concrete path or ramp that goes from the sidewalk and into the playground. And that is a 10-foot by 6-foot ADA ramp, broom finish. Now, the grade on this is, or the slope, I think is like 2% or less going from the concrete sidewalk into the playground. So on here, if I can get it to pop back up, maybe. So on that playground, what we're gonna try to do is there's right where my hand is there's a little park bench, and then there's concrete right here. So we're gonna make a path that goes right through the curb and into the wood chips, and then they'll just, we can restore the area by putting some wood chips around the concrete just so it looks, real clean. But we need to bury that concrete ramp. So if you're looking at what it looks like from ground level, so the blue line going across is the surface, let's say. You've got either an asphalt or concrete path. So this example I used asphalt because the other two ramps that we need to put in, we need to make a concrete ramp that goes from the asphalt and over into the playground. So you've got your walking path, and then you've got your 4-inch concrete path that we need to make from the asphalt to the curbing. So I'm showing you this now so you'll see how the other two ramps go. Then there's 12 inches of curb to dig out. It's 18 inches total. 6 inches is revealed on top of the surface, 12 inches underground. So we'd have to remove that curb. Then you got the EWF that's inside the playground. It's about 14 to 16 inches deep. So we'll have to dig all the way down 16 inches and then put back 12 inches of crushed rock. And then finally, when we go to do the concrete pad, we'll pour one long pad that goes, or ramp, that goes from inside the park, 4-inch depth, all the way through that curb area. And then on that path there, it'll be 4 inches as well. Okay? And that's where the 10 by 6, 4-inch depth ramp comes in. Okay, on the south ramp, this is on the other end. So this is, as you come around this, there's like a concrete path that comes down and around this and then ties into this asphalt walkway. So if you're looking at this, here's the north end. There's that concrete path that goes all the way around and then hooks into that asphalt path. And then we have to create a concrete path that goes from the asphalt through the curb and into the playground for ADA access. And that's what you see right here. Okay, so we've got remove 4-inch dirt between the curb and the asphalt path, and that's 5 foot by 6 foot area of dirt we got to remove, 4-inch depth. Then we have to remove that curbing, so we have to cut it out, a 6 foot wide chunk out of the curbing, 18-inch depth. Then we need to remove 16 inches of EWF, which is the wood chips. It's about a 5 by 6, could be 6 by 6. And then placement of 12 inches of crushed rock where we removed the EWF. That's 5 by 6. And then finally pour the concrete pad, 4-inch depth, on that ramp there, and it's 10 foot by 6 foot. And that'll run from inside the playground and out to the path, going right in between that curb cut that we made on both sides. Okay? And then you've got one more path down the road, or down here, and it goes into the smaller playground. That's what you see in this picture. You go around the path here and you come down to this area, and then they want to create an ADA ramp that goes from the asphalt through the curb and into the playground. So what you have here on this east ramp, same thing, 4-inch dirt removal, 10 by 6. Okay, so 10 by 6 between the curb and the asphalt. Then you got to remove 6 feet of curbing again, so we can make that opening through the curb, 18-inch depth. Remove 16 inches of EWF, 6 by 6. That's inside the playground. And then you got to do placement of 12 inches of crushed rock, so we can bring it up to that 4-inch level. And that's 6 by 6. And then you got placement of 4-inch depth concrete ramp, 16 foot by 6 foot, running from inside the park and out to the asphalt. Okay, that's the scope of work. Like I said, staging's not an issue. They will close down the area of the park when we go to do our work. They'll just give notice. I'm using these numbers as far as footage goes on these ramps because that's what a competitor put in for them, so I'm trying to give them apples to apples. There might be the case that these ramps might be a little bit smaller on each end, but I think we're covered. All right, any other questions, let me know. We're potentially looking to be their main concrete vendor for sidewalks and all this kind of stuff. So hopefully we can give them a good price on this and stay competitive like we did on the sidewalk that we did out there earlier this year. All right, thanks a lot. And again, this is for Redmond Ridge ROA.